Hey everyone, welcome. Today we're going to talk about something really cool, the secret journey that every great idea has to take. I mean, how does a flash of genius actually become something that changes the world for all of us?
So let me ask you something. Let's say you come up with a world-changing invention. I mean, it's brilliant, right? But is that enough? Just being a great idea? What more could it possibly need to actually, make a difference? We're about to find out.
All right, let's dive into a little story. Picture this. Way up in the mountains, there's this humble woodcutter, super hardworking, but really poor. One day, he's just completely wiped out, starving, and he sees this strange root on the ground. He figures, hey, what have I got to lose? And he eats it. And you won't believe what happened next. That night, boom, he's just buzzing with endless energy. That nagging cough he's had for years? Gone. Just like that. So of course, he shares it with his family, then the whole village. And pretty soon, the old folks are feeling young again, people are getting healthier, the whole place is just revitalized. It's like a miracle.
So the woodcutter, he realizes, wow, this is way bigger than just my little village. He's thinking, I can't just keep this for myself. This is a gift for everyone, for the whole nation. So, with a totally pure heart, he packs up some of the herb and starts the long trek to the capital. He's got to show the king.
Okay, so he finally gets there, stands in front of the king, and lays it all out. Your Majesty, I've found something that can make our people strong and healthy. So, what do you think happens? Does the king jump at the chance to give this miracle herb to everyone?
The king's answer? A flat-out no. Absolutely not. He completely refused it. And wait, what? This is where it gets super interesting, right? Why on earth would a king say no to something so amazing?
Well, you got to see it from the king's point of view. Sure, the herb worked wonders for the woodcutter's village. It had awesome testimonials, but what did it lack? Well, everything else. There was no scientific proof, no safety testing, no one to hold accountable if things went wrong. Think about it. A king's job isn't just to say yes to cool new things. It's to protect his people. You can't run a whole country on a trust-me-it-works basis. You need a system.
And that really is the heart of the story. See, the king didn't refuse the medicine. He refused an unverified future. He was turning down a gamble that he couldn't possibly stand behind.
So here's the big takeaway. For any idea to really truly change the world, it has to grow up. It needs to go from just passion and a good story to a real system and structure. It has to go from just being powerful to being proven. Okay, so that's a nice little story, but this isn't just some fairy tale, right? The woodcutter's problem is something innovators deal with all the time, right now. So let's look at a modern-day woodcutter, a company called Escom. Let's see how they took their big idea and did it the right way. So, Escom came up with this amazing new energy-saving tech. But they were smart. They knew having a great idea wasn't the whole game. They needed the king's seal of approval, but for the modern world. For them, that was getting a new electric power technology certification. Basically, it's an official government stamp that says, hey, this thing is legit, it's new, it works, it's practical, and it'll save you money. That's how you build real, solid trust.
And that certification, it was their golden ticket. It became the foundation for everything. They started installing their tech in huge, credible places. We're talking the Samsung R&D Center, Incheon Airport. That gave them a solid track record, legal protection, and most importantly, objective credibility. Suddenly, investors and even governments started to trust them. And that's how a Korean technology starts to become a global standard.
So what does all that proof get you? How about this? A $1 billion contract. That's with a B. An overseas deal to put their tech in 1 million homes. You just don't get that kind of deal without that system of trust we've been talking about. Another country literally trusted them enough to make it their national standard. That's huge.
And it wasn't just about contracts. That trust brought in the big money. Because they had all this proof, they landed a $50 million investment. And that investment gave the company a valuation of almost $500 million. That, right there, is the difference between having a cool herb and having a real verified asset.
So, when you look at the woodcutter story and what Escom achieved, what's the secret sauce? It really boils down to 4 key things. 4 pillars that turn an idea into an asset.
Here they are. First, you need verification. Does it actually work? With real proof? Second, an institution. Is there a formal system backing it up? Third, trust. Is it credible enough for people to put their money and faith in it? And finally, accountability. If something goes wrong,
Who's responsible? You need all four.
So as we finish up, I want to leave you with a question to chew on. Think about your own big idea, your own project. Ask yourself, honestly, is it just a magical, unverified herb, or are you actually building the system, the proof, the trust, to turn it into a true asset that can really actually change the world?